Hi guys, so on today's video I'm going to show you how to adjust your brakes on a Cobra scooter if you have a soft brake handle. For example, if you're trying to come to a complete stop, you do have brakes, but it's all the way grabbing closer to the rubber grip, and you're supposed to have some gap between the rubber grip and the lever. So the most basic adjustment without any tools, you can just stretch the brake cable with this adjustment bolt and lock it with this one right here, and it's supposed to give you some benefits. Like in my case, I have a brand new scooter, so I still can adjust it right here. But if in your case you have a used scooter, and I'm gonna adjust it back in place how it was, and like in your case, if you have a worn out brakes already shaved off, then that adjustment will not help you because you have a too big gap between the brake pads. Let me show you right here. You have a too big gap between the brake pads, or maybe from here, and the disc. As you can see, it's pretty visible gap right here. Okay, so let me show you how to get those brake pads closer to the disc. You will need a 5mm hex key, preferably longer one, and the 2.5mm metric hex key. So you have a plastic protective cap right here, so you have to loosen it up, and you will need a 10mm wrench to hold or to loosen this locking nut. So hold it with your hand and loosen this nut. Okay, then keep holding it until you're going to insert this 2.5mm and clockwise tighten it. Okay, now you can look inside if the gap is smaller or not. Try to spin your wheel if it's still spinning freely. Okay, the best way would be to use some kind of filler gauge, but I don't have one. So you can buy that metal filler gauge. It's like a valve adjustment tool for $8-10. You can buy it at the auto parts store. I don't have one, and I'm not going to go to the store, so I just use the packaging plastic instead. Clear plastic. It's not too thick and it's not too thin. It's exactly what I'm looking for. So let's try to put this plastic between the brake pads. Hold on. Yeah, just like that. And the disc. So right now I feel like it's too tight, so I'm going to loosen up and see if I have some gap. Okay, as you can see, I have some gap. Now I'm going to wiggle it like this and try to tighten it, that screw, until it's going to be hard to remove this plastic packaging. Okay, so I'm keep tightening it. Okay, now it's tight. So back. Too tight. So now it's really tight. So I'm going to go back. Okay, that's about the distance that I want to have. This is the gap that I want to see between the brake pad and the disc. Now I'm going to hold this 2.5mm middle bolt and retie this locking nut. Okay, so I am done with the inner brake pad. So let's try to adjust this one now. The outer. Let's check if your wheel's still spinning, and let's see if we have a how big gap. I'm not sure if you can see in the video, but from this side the gap is much bigger than from the inside. So I'll try to adjust this outer pad. Now that's why you need this long hex 5mm key, and if you will have to insert from through the disc, and there is a room for that key. Okay, so look from the inside, please. Do you see it? I hope so. And now you don't have to, there is no locking nut or anything like that, so try to turn it clockwise, maybe a quarter of a turn, and leave that key inside. And now look how much gap you have, and use this plastic filler gauge that I've been using on the other side. Well, my filler gauge barely fit, so I'm going to loose back, adjust this, hold on. Okay, as you can see, so I'm going to wiggle like this, and in the same time with my other hand I'm going to tighten it. Oh, as you can see, it's tight, too tight. Just like this. So you're supposed to be able to move this plastic between the brake pad and the brake disc. This is the idea. And this way you will have a same gap on both sides between the outer and inner brake pads and the disc. Now try if your wheel will spin freely again. And try to press your brake handle like I do. As you can see that I still have like 1 inch of gap between the brake lever and the rubber grip without adjusting right here. So all I did, I just adjusted those brake pads closer to the brake disc, and I have a pretty firm and strong brakes now. Alright, I hope it was helpful for you. Thank you. Bye.